Once upon a time, Mother Goat and her 7 little goats lived happily in a seacoast town with lush vegetation. The 7 little goats walked to school happily every morning. They held hands as they walked to school.
What's going on?
School trip! School trip!
School trip? Where?
To a faraway place, Paris.
Paris? As in Paris, France.
Yes!
The little goats were so excited about this trip that they couldn't wait to go home and give their mother the good news.
Whoever gets home first tells our mother the news.
They all ran home as fast as they could, and when they finally arrived, their hearts were pounding loud.
Mom! Mom!
What's going on?
There's a school trip to Paris.
That's great. You should do some research about Paris at once.
Where can we get information on Paris, Mommy?
We'll look for some information on the internet.
The next day, they printed out the information and read it.
Whoa! The world's largest museum is in Paris, and it's called Louvre.
We have to visit it for sure.
But we can't see every inch of it.
Why not?
It's as big as 10 soccer fields. If we looked at every piece of artwork for a minute, it would take us 73 days to see everything. But there's one masterpiece we must see, Mona Lisa.
Wow, I'm so excited.
How about this? There are 470,000 trees in Paris. That's a lot.
Also, there are 173 museums and 450 parks. Such a city of culture.
Let's not forget the Eiffel Tower and Notre Dame. Millions of tourists visit these places every year. I was just reading about it.
We must definitely see both.
Let's add these to our notes. We'll give them to our teacher tomorrow.
The little goats jotted down the information until late that evening. Next morning, they told their teacher about what they had learned.
Good job, kids. I'll create our itinerary based on your notes.
The time for their Paris trip had finally arrived. The little goats went to bed early that night, but they couldn't sleep. They tossed and turned in their beds. They went to the airport. They were so excited to get on the plane for the first time.
Yay! We're flying!
The flight was uneventful. The students chatted. Just then, one of the little goats couldn't help noticing a familiar face sitting in the back row, trying to disguise himself. When she looked closely, she realized it was Bad Wolf. He was wearing a fake moustache and glasses. but his long ears and sharp teeth gave him away.
Hey, look at the back row without being too obvious. Isn't that the bad wolf?
No way! What is he doing here?
I wonder what he's up to.
Oh no! They probably recognized me. What are these little ghosts doing here anyway? I have to hide now.
The bad wolf crawled out of his seat and to the lavatory. He didn't come out until the plane landed. As soon as they arrived in Paris, they went to their hotel. The bad wolf stalked them as he smiled maliciously.
So we meet again. Have fun while you can, you miserable little ghost. He who laughs last laughs best.
The first stop of the trip was the Eiffel Tower. They stood under the tower with mouths agape because of the tower's height.
It looks much better than in books.
Let's climb the tower and watch the scenery.
The scenery from atop was beautiful, and everything looked so tiny. After they ate some food, they went straight to the Louvre Museum.
Why is it so crowded, teacher?
Museums are places filled with valuable pieces, so people like to visit them. Museums shed light upon world history.
After waiting in a queue, they bought tickets and entered the museum. The bad wolf was not far behind as he stalked them closely. The little goats roamed the museum. The little goats roamed the museum. They stopped before every piece and shared the information with their friends. Their teacher was so proud of them. At the end of such a delightful museum visit, they stopped in front of the most valuable piece in the museum, the Mona Lisa painting. The bad wolf used the crowd to his advantage to get even closer to the little goats. One of the little goats was telling her friend about Mona Lisa.
You miserable little goats. Now you're done.
I knew it. It was the bad wolf back on the plane.
The little goat scampered away, screaming, and the scene was chaotic. Mayhem broke out, as other visitors in the museum also joined in, not knowing what was going on. But the bad wolf stayed put. His true intentions were different. Taking advantage of the stampede, he stole the Mona Lisa painting and tried to run for the exit. He wanted to sell the painting so he could become rich. In the confusion, nobody saw Bad Wolf stealing the painting. However, the youngest of the little goats saw what had happened. He knew he had to stop the big bad wolf.
Brothers, sisters, follow my voice so you can find me.
The other little goats heard the youngest goat's voice and immediately went to him.
Are you okay? Did that wretch hurt you?
No, he is not here to hurt us.
Whoa, why is he running away? What's that in his hand?
His plan was to use us to create diversion and steal that valuable painting.
We have to bring the painting back.
What does the wolf hate the most?
Taking a bath, of course. We all know how stinky he is.
Then let's give him a bath.
How?
You've got your slingshot with you?
Yes.
How about your marbles?
Of course!
Listen to me closely then.
After they finished scheming their plan, 2 little goats ran after the wolf. The goat that had the slingshot shot a marble at the fire sprinklers in the hallway where the wolf was running. The sprinklers went off as soon as the marble hit. The wolf was caught by surprise.
What's going on? Where did all this water come from? I hate getting wet.
The other marble coming from the slingshot triggered another sprinkler. The floor was flooded. The bad wolf slipped and fell to the ground, along with the painting. The museum guards arrested the wolf right away. Leonardo da Vinci's famous painting, the Mona Lisa, was hung back to its original place. Later that day, the museum's manager gave a speech to congratulate the 7 little goats for their heroic act and presented them with beautiful gifts. When they returned to their town, their mother and townspeople were so proud of them. They carried the little goats on their shoulders to the school. And what about the bad wolf? At first, he stayed in the hospital for a long time. He was charged with grand theft, so, as punishment, he had to mop the museum floors for a whole year. He regretted what he'd done, but it was too late.
Hey guys! Subscribe to our channel KONDOSAN and watch the most popular fairy tales, cartoons, and nursery rhymes. Don't forget to click the bell for notifications.